Hello everybody and welcome to the Lightning Nationals in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Brand new series, and as we can see, we're going to have a stellar 7-truck field. King Carnage driven by DJ Payne, Livewire by Mark Foster, Moving Violation Huxley Baxter, Silver Streak Buck Miller, Sinful Addiction Keith Johnson, Snowcat Will Baldwin, and Wildcat Toby Miller. No relation between Silver Streak and Wildcat. As a heads up, that has been put to me on my news desk. But besides the point, we are going to be in for a great show here. 7 great trucks. 2 brand new trucks on the season. Huxley Baxter and Moving Violation, and Keith Johnson and Sinful Addiction. Both of those brand new for the 2006 season, and happy to have Sinful Addiction back on tour with us. As you can see, King Carnage already moving on to the second round. So our very first race of round 1 will be Moving Violation and Silver Streak. This will be a pretty tight race. Brand new truck from Moving Violation. Huxley has been on a great career resurgence, whereas Buck Miller has been the tried and true chassis since 1991 with some upgrades here and there, but he is one of the few that runs no sway bars, and currently that is working out really well for him. Keeping up the speed, getting over the cars, but right now they're side by side going in the final corner. Moving Violation not able to turn as quickly as Silver Streak. It's going to be Silver Streak moving on to the next round. Second race of round 1 will be featuring Livewire and Wildcat. 2 radically different truck designs. One with a very short type suspension, whereas the other with a lot of travel. Wildcat taking a little bit of a touch over the cars, a little bit more difficult for his truck on how it's set up, but Livewire pushing through and going to have an easy victory over Wildcat. In our final race of round 1, Snowcat taking on Sinful Addiction. Brand new chassis. Wheelies off the line, but gets it over the cars quickly. Beating Snowcat out of the hole off the line. Now Sinful Addiction up and over the cars. Snowcat making a charge. Keeping it close, but looks like Sinful has a little bit of an edge going in the final corner. Snowcat pushes. Snowcat almost makes it up in the air, but Sinful able to stay just ahead. And we'll be moving on to the second round. Now that we're into the second round of racing, it'll be King Carnage and Silver Streak, then Livewire taking on Sinful Addiction. The winner of these 2 races will be moving on into the finals. Now King Carnage did get a bye, so this could definitely hurt him. Hasn't had a chance to hit the car, so he doesn't know how it's going to throw him. Silver Streak able to get a pass over the track, although it comes up a little sideways, but doesn't look like it slowed him down any. Able to keep the truck under control. Already over his next set, whereas King Carnage just now getting over. He's already into the turn. King Carnage has a lot of time to make up, but it looks like he's not going to be able to do it. And Silver Streak launches the truck to the finish, but King Carnage definitely making an ample leap at it at the end. As we go into the next race of the semifinals, this will put them into the final round. Sinful Addiction taking on Livewire, and they are almost even off the line. But Livewire gets the better jump over the first set of cars. But Sinful takes it nice and tight up and over the next set of cars. Gets a better balance, but Livewire a little squirrely off the red set. And Sinful Addiction, all he has to do is get around. Good launch, and almost like a truck length victory over Livewire. And in his debut coming back to the channel underneath the Lightning Nationals, Sinful Addiction driven by Keith Johnson. Had a hiccup there. Is now on his way to a potential win here in the finals. In his debut, Silver Streak, Buck Miller wanting to put a stop to that debut run, but right now he is way behind. Sinful Addiction sees the victory in hand. He can smell it, he can taste it, he's going to launch it to the end, and he gets the victory in his debut, in his brand new scheme and brand new truck. Great debut for the driver of Sinful Addiction, Keith Johnson. As we can see going into the freestyle, pretty good lineup. As you can see, the elevation of skill just gets higher and higher and higher, so we're going to get more intense freestyles as we move through. The first truck up, that's going to be kind of still a rookie, about 2 years underneath his belt from 2004 to now, from when he debuted in Wildcat. Toby's been wrenching on the trucks, but he's also been enjoying driving. And his boss, Will Baldwin, wants to see him go out there and put on a good show, but he also does want to see his truck come back in a trailer, scraping it up off the track, so he's going to come out. Might be a little bit conservative here as we got 2 brand new fresh cars. 60-second freestyles here. Not a lot to do on the track, so you got to be a little bit creative in how you attack this track. We also don't want to go too crazy because iron walling some of these cars can lead to damages underneath the truck. But looks like he doesn't care. He's going right for the van stack, up and over. Gonna get a power wheelie on the concrete, almost dragging the tailgate. No wheelie bar for these two cat chassis, so they gotta really watch it when they put it on the back paws per se, because they try and go too far over. They're gonna find themselves almost up and over as he lands on the right side. Tough impact, but keeps the truck under control, keeping the equipment underneath them. Coming down to the final 15 seconds, another great sky wheelie, lands it perfectly on the rear. Try to get on the gas to get a little bit of a slap wheelie there. Down to the 10-second mark. Looks like we might see some donuts to wrap up the time here. Really laying into the pedal right now, getting some good cyclones. Keeping up good constant rotation around and around. And look like that's how it's going to end it up for Wildcat. It gets a score of 24 to start us off on the night. Now here comes the tried and true legend, Buck Miller in Silver Streak, coming out with a great sky wheelie, putting it on the back bumper, but getting hung up on the car. It looks like he actually loses the tailgate, just embedding it in that third car in the stack. But look at the lean on that truck. That can both help and hurt. But for him right now, he's keeping it under control. And again, another wild landing. These cars, man, they are unpredictable. You really got to make sure that you line up the way that you want, or you can find yourself end over end, or finding yourself in a situation that you don't want to. What a nice leap right there from Silver Streak, just soaring over the red stack. Now going for the white side, gets hung up in the car again. That end car is just kidding, messed up. Now Silver Streak whips it around, putting it into some donuts, going to some cyclones, just whipping the truck around. Still has 10 seconds left. Looks like we might be seeing another van hit right here. He's on the side, he's up and over. And it looks like the judges are going to take the time into consideration. Only a score of 22, 2 points out of the lead. Now we got Will Baldwin in Snowcat. He too's going to get a power wheelie. Actually drags the bumper. You see the sparks off the fiberglass and the metal rivets holding in that rear tailgate. You just saw him dragging it. Going to hold nothing back here. Came up a little bit shorter in racing than what he probably wanted to. So we're going to see a good freestyle here from Snowcat. Already 2 great hits in. Another great skyway. Lands on that final car on 2 wheels, but brings it back down under control. Looks like he too is going to find himself into some donuts. Might be looking at some cyclones. And around and around and around that cat goes, like chasing his tail. Whipping up some smoke here on the concrete. Now goes for that white set of car. Kicks him off to the side. Keeps it under control. Landing on the cars is a lot better than landing on straight on that concrete. Can end up damaging a rim or flattening a tire. Once again, skies it up and over the van, ripping the tailgate off of it. You love a little bit of fiberglass damage. Looks like he might have time for one last hit. Goes for the yellow cars, hangs him up a little bit, walks it up and over. And that's going to do it. It's going to get him the lead over his junior driver, Buck Miller, with a 26 in the lead by 2 points. But now we have Mark Foster in the live wire Ford. He's going to start off with some donuts. A little bit of a different approach to what we've seen from the previous drivers. Gotta mix it up. You gotta be a little bit different. Love the start for live wire with some good air, clearing the set. Now whips it around. Looks like he's going to go for the white set. Gotta be careful. That end car could end up kicking you up and over on one wheel. He's on the gas! And he brings it back down! What a save! That is skill and luck working together. Open diff on the front. Get on the gas too hard, you find yourself end over end. Just balancing, teeter-tottering on the right front tire. What an exciting moment for Livewire, but now really has to kind of capitalize on it. Has 2 great sky wheelies, a little bit of fiberglass work that's going to have to get done. But now we're kind of losing the momentum. Down to 10 seconds left. Let's see what Mark can do. Guys, it up and over, the biggest air off the van so far. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Looks like they might include what this final hit is. Lines up for the white racing lane. Gets it up and over, keeping the truck under control this time and bringing it to a stop. And that's going to give him the lead by 1 point. Gives him a 27 for freestyle. Now welcoming out King Carnage, DJ Payne. Started off his driving career in '99. Pretty much the exact same chassis that he had back then when he started, but over the years has improved and tuned and added some different upgrades to the truck. And right now, it's in a state that he finds very comfortable and isn't afraid to launch it or send it. It's a little power wheelie right there, definitely different than the rest of the trucks. That is one thing that you need to do, is be a little bit different. And now he's going to sky it over the white stack. Gets a little in trouble, but keeps the truck under control. Side slaps on the right side. Looks like the tires are all up. Rims are okay. That's one thing about concrete. Shoves it into that white car. It did not want to give, just ironballing it. But you don't want to land sideways on the concrete because you knock wheels off, you knock tires off. There's a lot of damage that you can do to these trucks. But he's not afraid to risk it right now. And right now, looks like he's going to look for some donuts. Definitely a little bit more under controlled, maybe underpowered, or just not wanting to sing the engine. But looks like he lines up for one last hit up and over the red van. Looked for a wheelie, just couldn't get the gas underneath of it that he wanted. The time has expired. Looks like he's going to end it up on the van stack. Up a little bit short, currently in 3rd place overall with a 25. And now moving on to Huxley Baxter, moving violation, one of my favorite trucks of all time. New scheme to it. Just a sleek black look to it. Just looks super clean, but isn't afraid to send it and destroy it, as we've seen in the past. And so far, starting off the run up and over the van stack, now going the backside of the racing lane. Kind of walks it for a little bit, almost ends up in trouble. Like he ends up going over the red stack. Not as much air as what he was hoping for. Looks like he let out of the gas just a little bit too early. Car kind of got him. But now lining back up, going for that fresh car. Guys it up and over. Looks like for a little bit of a slap wheelie there. Just couldn't get the gas underneath it. Got to be careful with getting onto the power on some of these slap wheelies. As he now slings it into a donut. Huxley hucking the truck around. Trying to zing the motor a little bit. Add a little bit of flare up and over the van. On 2 wheels and he brings it back down. What a save from Huxley. Looks like he might be able to get one more hit underneath of it. Goes for the red van stack. Nice little sky wheelie. Gets it into a power wheelie, dragging the chassis. You saw the sparks fly. What a run for moving violation. Huxley Baxter putting on a performance here in Grand Forks. But that is only going to net him a 25. Close, but no cigar. Now, Keith Johnson, Sinful Addiction. Brand new truck. Back on tour, and so far has a racing win underneath his belt. Could be looking for both the double down. Could try to get the freestyle victory here. So he's having a little bit of troubles over that final car though. Tires sinking into that final car. It is just smashed beyond belief. Now going for the van stack, a little bit crooked. Little bit of a risky landing there. Nothing dangling, nothing broken. So keep it on rolling. As Sinful Addiction halfway through the time. Now going for the backside of the racing lane. A little bit of a sky, a little bit of a twist there. Finding himself in trouble. As the time is winding down. Need to step up the momentum a little bit. Going for some air right there. Iron wall in the van. Now gets a dragging. The back bumper dragging the wheelie bar on the concrete. Seeing the sparks fly. The time now just going down quicker and quicker. Looking for a little bit of a cross thread right here. Up and over the side. Goes for the van. A little bit in trouble on 2 wheels. Gets it down. Keeping the truck underneath. Looks like he's going to wrap it up with some donuts. Keith Johnson. Great performance. Great donuts. Looks like that's going to wrap up the time with a 26 second place. Just not enough for the win. And our winner in Freestyle Night Live Wire, with Snowcat and Sinful both tied in second. King Carnage Moving Violation tied for third. Technically speaking, with Wildcat and Silver Streak rounding out the field. Great performances here tonight on the Lightning National Series. We hope to see you again in the next one.